Good day everyone. To continue the report regarding the procure-to-pay process, I'll discuss the accounts payable and petty cash and expenses activity. So, accounts payable department act as the gatekeeper before mag-disburse sa finance department. Kumbaga dito, the operation is the last line of defense for a company's cash flow. It ensures that the company only pays for what it actually received and that every peso spent is documented and authorized. So the common control present here are authorization, reconciliation, segregation of duties, and annual review. These are the tactical checks and balances embedded in the accounts payable workflow. In authorization, before a payment is issued, the accounts payable department verifies na ang purchase was approved by the correct department head. In a procure-to-pay process, this usually involves a three-way match comparing the purchase order or the PO, which is generated by the procurement department after a requisition is approved, the receiving report, and the vendor invoice to ensure they are all aligned. Second is reconciliation. In accounts payable, ito is critical control activity na nag-a-ensure ng accuracy and completeness of recorded liabilities. It involves periodically comparing the accounts payable subsidiary ledger, which contains ng mga detailed records of all amounts na utang to individual vendors, while vendor statements, which are summaries provided by suppliers, showing kung ano yung utang sa kanila ng company. Ang main purpose nito is to identify discrepancies tulad ng missing invoices, duplicate entries, incorrect amounts, or unrecorded payments. The third one is segregation of duties. So dito, it is an internal control in finance and operations. Ang main purpose nito is to divide responsibilities among different employees so that no single person can complete a critical process alone and para makapag-reduce ng risk of fraud or errors. Lastly is the annual review. In accounts payable, it focuses on evaluating the vendor master file and related payment terms at least once a year. Unlike sa routine reconciliation, this is a higher level assessment aimed at ensuring na all vendors listed in the system are legitimate, active, and still necessary for business operations. Over time, companies accumulate vendors' record that are no longer used and tinatawag itong dormant vendors. Moving on to control objectives. These are the goals of a company hopes to achieve by implementing the controls above. First is ensuring validity and suitability of accounts. This objective ensures na every purchase is necessary for business operations and naka-align sa organizational needs. It requires verifying that goods or services were actually delivered and meet the agreed specifications, quantity, and quality. Second is ensuring legal and finance compliance. In accounts payable department, they must ensure that all transactions comply with applicable laws, regulations, and internal policies. This includes yung correctly calculating taxes, such as VAT or withholding taxes, and ensuring proper documentation is maintained. Compliance to this reduces the risk of penalties, legal issues, and misstatements in financial reports. The third one is creating positive relationships. Paying vendors accurately and on time helps build strong and lasting supplier relationships. This reliability can result in favorable terms tulad ng extended credit periods or early payment discounts. Strong relationships also contribute to a stable and dependable supply chain. And lastly is prevent fraud. This objective focuses on reducing the opportunities for unauthorized or deceptive transactions. So by requiring multiple approvals, supporting documents, and verification steps, it becomes difficult for one person to manipulate the system. So as a result, the risk of fraud such as fake vendors or diverted payments is significantly minimized. Next is common control issues or risks. These are the what-ifs or specific dangers that occur when controls are weak. Una is no delivery of goods. It occurs when accounts payable department processes payment without confirming that items were actually received. This usually happens if the department fails to match the purchase order, yung invoice and receiving report. And as a result, the company pays for goods that never entered the warehouse, leading to financial loss. Pangalawa is overpayment. It is often caused by weak controls within AP, tulad ng poor invoice tracking or lack of review procedures. If AP department does not properly check for duplicate invoices or nag-fail to apply discounts and credit memos, the company may pay more than what it is owed. This directly affects the cash flow and increases unnecessary expenses. Pangatlo is fraud schemes. It can arise when AP lacks proper segregation of duties and vendor validation controls. For example, if the same person can create vendors and approve payments, they can introduce ghost vendors or collaborate with suppliers in kickback arrangements. Pang-apat is unapproved or invalid purchases. It impacts AP when invoices are submitted for items that were not properly authorized. If yung accounts payable department processes these items without verifying approval or purchase orders, it enables maverick spending which bypasses procurement policies. This leads to higher cost, inconsistent quality, and weakened internal control. And lastly is inaccurate financial statements. These are closely linked to accounts payable's responsibility for recording liabilities. If accounts payable department fails to record expenses in the correct accounting period, expenses and payables may be understated or overstated. These misrepresentations affect the reliability ng financial statements and can mislead management and stakeholders. Lastly is the risk mitigation and management on this activity. These are the strategic responses used to fix or prevent the risks that I mentioned. Una is regular verification. It is a control measure sa accounts payable process that helps ensure na yung vendor and transaction information remains accurate and legitimate. This includes yung periodically checking vendor identities, confirming bank account details, and verifying the actual existence of goods received, especially for high-value inventory items. Pangalawa is violation matrix and accountability measures. So, violation matrix is a formal policy na nag-define sa consequences of failing to follow the procure-to-pay process. For example is, if an employee purchases goods without an approved purchase order, yung matrix specifies the corresponding disciplinary action or corrective measure. This strengthens accountability by making employees aware na bypassing control has clear and consistent consequences. And lastly is yung internal audit report. Ito is nag-provide ng independent assessment of the accounts payable process and its related controls. Ang internal auditors is nag-examine whether procedures tulad ng approvals, reconciliation, and verifications are functioning effectively and not merely documented in policy manuals. So, yung findings nila is nakakatulong sa management na makapag-identify ng weaknesses, nag-improve ng controls, and nag-ensure na yung AP department operates efficiently and in compliance with company policies. And the last activity and procure-to-pay process is petty cash and expenses. So, what is petty cash and expenses? Alam naman natin ito. So, ito lang naman yung mga small fund used for minor, incidental, or urgent expenses. On the other hand, yung expenses naman is gastos sa isang operations. And in order to have a smooth process, Proper controls are essential to prevent misuse or fraud. The common control present here are support documentation, physical security, policy communication, and float management. Una, yung support documentation. Ito is isang internal control na kung saan requires every petty cash disbursement to have proper proof such as receipts, invoices, or official payment slips. This documentation shows kung saan gagamitin or ginamit ang pera and who approved it. Ang main purpose nito is to ensure na yung mga petty cash funds are used only for legitimate business expenses and that every transaction can be verified and recorded accurately. Pangalawa is physical security. Another one control na nag-protect sa cash and other valuable assets from theft, lost, or unauthorized access. For petty cash, ibig sabihin pagtatago ng pera in a secure location, lock cash box, drawer, or safe. And nag-aalaw lang dito na mag-access is yung mga authorized personnel para mapangalagaan ang company funds. Pangatlo is policy communication. It refers to clearly informing employees about sa mga rules and procedures for using petty cash, including what expenses ang allowed, who can approve them, and ang maximum amount na pwedeng gastusin. So, clear communication ensures that all employees understand and follow the organization's policies para ma-reduce ang risk of misuse or confusion. Ang goal lang dito is to ensure na yung mga petty cash is used only for legitimate small business expenses and employees follow the proper approval and documentation process. And lastly is yung float management. It refers to maintaining a fixed amount of petty cash and ensuring na it is regularly monitored and replenished when funds are used. Ang goal dito is to ensure that enough cash is available for small expenses while keeping accurate records na kung saan ito ginamit. The petty cash float usually starts with a set amount, and whenever cash is used, it is replaced based sa total amount of receipts and vouchers submitted. The control objectives in this activity are validity and authorization, accounting accuracy, and policy and regulatory compliance. Una, yung validity and authorization. So dito, it is an objective that ensures na lahat ng expenses is bayad by using petty cash and are legitimate business expenses and properly approved ng authorized personnel before yung money is released. Ang purpose lang dito is to prevent misuse of funds na nabanggit ko last time and unauthorized spending and fraudulent transactions. Pangalawa is yung accounting accuracy. It refers to ensuring na all petty cash transactions are recorded correctly and completely in the accounting record or system. This control is nag-ensure na ang company's financial statements reflect yung true amount of expenses and remaining cash in order to help the organization na matrack yung spending, ma-prevent yung errors, and ma-maintain yung reliable financial information for management and auditing purposes. Then, yung policy and regulatory compliance. It means ensuring na yung mga petty cash expenses follow yung company's internal policies as well as yung mga applicable laws and regulations. This control helps organizations handle expenses properly, maintaining yung transparency and avoid legal or financial penalties. It ensures that all petty cash transactions are authorized, properly documented, and recorded according sa company guidelines and legal standards. Relating to common controls issues or risks associated in this activity, una is yung fidel mentality. It refers to a situation na kung saan ang mga employees intentionally manipulate petty cash records or small financial transactions for personal gain. Yung term na fidel means making small dishonest adjustments or falsifications, often believing na yung amounts na ito ay masyadong maliit para ma-notice pa ng management. Even though the amounts may seem minor, Repeated actions like this can lead to significant financial losses and weaken internal controls. Pangalawa is yung personal use or misuse of funds. It occurs when employees use petty cash funds para sa mga personal expenses or for purposes na hindi allowed sa company policy. Since yung mga petty cash is naga-involve lang ng small amounts and frequent transactions, it can be vulnerable sa misuse if controls are weak. Pangatlo is unauthorized spending. Same sa nabanggit ko, wherein it occurs when employees spend petty cash without proper approval ng head or naga-exceed sa allowed spending limits set by the organization. Ibig sabihin nito, the expense does not follow the company's petty cash policy or required authorization procedures. Fourth one is unaccounted floats. It occurs when the petty cash fund does not match sa recorded transactions, meaning there is cash missing or yung balance cannot be explained by receipts and vouchers. This usually happens due to errors, theft, or poor record keeping, and it undermines yung integrity of financial reporting. And last is yung ghost expenses. It occurs when yung employees submit claims for expenses pero never actually incurred. In other words, the employee reports spending petty cash or company funds on fictitious purchases para makagain ng personal benefit. This form of fraud ay closely related sa feudal mentality na diniscuss ko kanina, wherein small manipulations of records are made for personal gain. Yung ghost expenses ay extension ng feudal mentality, but instead of altering actual transactions, employees create entirely fictitious transactions. The risk mitigations and management to petty cash and expenses are regular verification, surprise cash counts, float rationalization, and employee accountability training. Una, yung regular verification. It is a mitigation process of frequently checking petty cash records against the actual cash on hand and supporting documentation. Ang goal lang dito is to ensure na all petty cash transactions are accurately recorded, authorized, and reconciled para ma-prevent ang errors, misuse, or fraud. Pangalawa is surprise cash counts. These are unannounced check of petty cash funds para ma-verify yung physical cash on hand kung match siya sa recorded balances and that all disbursements are properly documented para ma-detect ang errors, theft, or misuse ng maaga and discourages employees from attempting fraudulent activities. The third one is the float rationalization. It is the process of adjusting the petty cash fund to an appropriate level based sa actual business needs para ma-minimize yung excess cash on hand, which reduces the risk of theft, misuse, or unaccounted discrepancies. Keeping the petty cash flow too high is daga-increase ito ng opportunity for errors or fraud, while kapag too low can disrupt day-to-day operations. So, dapat balance lang siya or just sufficient to cover small expenses without holding unnecessary cash. Lastly is yung employee accountability training. It is an internal control measure that educates staff sa proper handling of petty cash, organizational policies, ethical standards, at saka sa mga consequences of misuse or fraud. Ang goal dito is to build a culture of responsibility and integrity habang nag-minimize ng risk associated with petty cash management. Kapag well-trained ang mga employees, they are less likely to engage sa mga unauthorized spending, ghost expenses, or other fraudulent activities because naiintindihan nila both the rules and the consequences of violations. In connection sa mga diniscuss namin na activities of procure-to-pay process, i-connect namin siya sa isang company which is the Robinson Supermarket and the use of ARC, Supplier Portal and Analytics or SPA developed by Mantan Systems, which supports their controls, risk, and mitigation. So Robinson Supermarket manages its purchasing and supplier coordination through the org supplier portal and analytics system, which is this system connects Robinsons with its suppliers by allowing them to share information such as purchase orders, inventory levels, delivery schedules, and payment in one digital form. This system improves communication, visibility in the supply chain, and strengthens internal controls across the entire procurement process. In terms of purchasing, it begins when the merchandising or inventory team identifies the need of products that must be sold in the stores. The purchasing department prepares yung purchase orders at sinesend to suppliers. Using the SPA system, Robinsons create purchase orders digitally and send them directly to suppliers so they can confirm the order and track its status in real time. Nabanggit last time na controls ensures that purchases are authorized, accurate, and necessary para ma-prevent ang mga employees from ordering goods for personal benefits or making unauthorized purchases. Pumapasok dito yung authorization controls, then segregation of duties, wherein yung mga tao is person ordering goods is different sa tao sa approving payments. So may iba-ibang task ang bawat employees ng Robinsons. Then in reconciliation, it compares yung purchase orders with suppliers' confirmations to ensure accuracy. And supervisory review ensures managers verify purchasing activities. In terms naman sa contracts and contracting, the SPA platform stores suppliers' agreement and product information in one centralized system. If changes are needed, such as price adjustments or product updates, they can update it digitally. So contracts protects Robinsons legally and financially. They ensure na yung mga suppliers deliver products according to agreed standards and pricing. So pumapasok dito yung mga controls tulad ng authorization controls, ensuring contracts are approved by management, then legal review na nag-verify na yung contracts complies with the laws and company policies, then standardized contracts language which ensures yung consistency across agreements, and centralized contract database which allows yung easy monitoring of agreements. The third one is bidding. So the bidding process ensures Robinsons select the best suppliers based on price, quality, and reliability. Through the SPA portal, suppliers can submit proposal for new products, promotions, or pricing offers. So Robinsons evaluates this proposal gamit yung ARC supplier portal and analytics system to choose kung alin ang most suitable suppliers para sa kanila. So the control dito is yung vendor selection is fair, transparent, and competitive. And this can work on structured bidding procedures na nag-require sa suppliers to submit formal proposals, then minimum number of bids para ma-ensure yung competition, and independent review to reduce yung bias in supplier selection, and standardized scoring criteria para ma-ensure yung objective evaluation. Like SPA system, it reduces yung risk by tracking all proposal digitally, providing analytics to evaluate supplier performance, requiring management review before supplier approval, and nag-aalaw ng internal audit oversight. The fourth one is product receipt. This stage occurs when suppliers deliver goods ordered by Robinsons. So, the receiving department checks the product and confirms whether they match the purchase order. So, the SPA system allows Robinsons to monitor deliveries, inventory levels, and store requirements in real time. So, their proper control ensures Robinsons receive the correct quantity and quality of goods before payment is made. And SPA system helps the company avoid possible risk through automated tracking of purchase orders and deliveries, electronic recording of goods received, document retention within the system, and monitoring supplier delivery performance. Connecting to accounts payable department naman, the ARC Supplier Portal and Analytics or SPA system strengthens the accounts payable process by improving the entire procure-to-pay cycle. It enhances yung document accuracy through shared purchase orders, goods receipts, and invoices, reducing mismatches and payment disputes. Also, yung approval workflows are automated, ensuring timely authorization and avoiding bottlenecks. Two-way supplier communication also increases transparency, helping resolve discrepancies faster and improving relationships. SPA also provides visibility into deliveries and inventory, preventing yung mga overpayments or payments for undelivered goods. Its role-based analytics and alerts support monitoring, control, and timely action on supplier performance issues. Overall, yung SPA system reduces cost, improves efficiency, ensures valid payments, and strengthens accounts payable controls while supporting faster informed decision-making. And lastly is the petty cash and expenses. So dito, petty cash and expenses management covers small operation expenses that may not go through the full procurement process, even though sa Robinson it is not required. And although SPA focuses mainly on procurement, Robinson monitors expenses and reimbursements through its financial systems. So the employees must provide supporting documents for expenses ng company. Then, expense policy guides employees on allowable reimbursements. So the ARC Supplier Portal, created by Mantan System, helps Robinson Supermarket na i-improve yung procure-to-pay process by integrating supplier collaboration, procurement monitoring, and analytics in one system. Because of this system, communication with suppliers improved, procurement decisions became more data-driven, yung risk of frauds and errors were reduced, and operations become more efficient. That would be all for our report. We hope you understand the topic. Thank you.